All right, Dark Knight. So we'll just watch and then break it down in a second. So I don't really like that they tried to sync up the shadow with the Dark Knight. I think it made it difficult to see. All right, so grit and then blood weapon. And then he goes from blood weapon into the new salted earth. Now, I don't know if this delay here is because salted earth is on a GCD or not. But anyway, when you use salted earth here, you're going to proc another ability. And then that's just heavy swing or whatever into siphon strike into, yeah, soul eater. And then this ability here, this is new. So this move, I believe, is the one that procs from salted earth. So we can see it again. So there's salted earth. Then he just does a basic Soul Eater combo. And then that right there. This right here is new. This, I believe, is the Salted Earth proc. So this is what leads me to believe that Salted Earth is actually off GCD because it doesn't actually contribute to the blood gauge, but we don't know. I'm going to assume that it is, but, you know, like I said, I don't like to 100% believe anything until I see tooltips. He technically still has blood weapon on. Okay, so blood weapon is still active and it did give him 10. I believe they put blood weapon on charges and I'll explain why. He used his blood weapon. Okay, he used it at 350. Now let's see how much time that it takes. There's 1 charge, 2 charge, 3 charge. You know what? Maybe not. What's the next ability? You know what? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Fuck, man. It's tough to tell. Blood weapon's supposed to give you 5 GCDs. You know what? Maybe it's still on a duration. Obviously, blood weapon giving you gauge is still there. And he did a Soul Eater combo, which gives you 50. Because you get 10 from Hard Slash, 10 from Siphon Strike, and then you get 30 from Soul Eater because you get the 20 plus the 10 from the actual blood weapon. Is it charges or is it duration? We don't know. Pray for charges. All right, now this is the Salted Earth proc. What I believe to be Salted Earth proc. This right here is TBN. And then this right here is a new TBN. Apparently, you can only use it on a party member or something. So far, nothing about Dark Knight has changed outside of Delirium. Well, I guess an Assaulted Earth proc, but see, here's my issue, man. Here's my fucking issue. I feel like Abyssal Drain is still gonna be fucking useless. I feel like Salted Earth is still gonna be useless. And now you've added more uselessness on top of a useless ability. So now you have Salted Earth that procs another ability. Like, for those of you that aren't aware, Salted Earth and Abyssal Drain do not contribute very much to your overall damage. The amount of potency that you gain from Salted Earth and Abyssal Drain are very minimal. Basically, these are fluff. This is fluff. It's actually worse if they increase the potency. And let me explain why. Because you have all these filler abilities. And instead of having Abyssal Drain and Salted Earth, they should have just combined the ability so that you put down a puddle that deals damage, and if you stand in it, you heal. Wouldn't that be much cooler than this fucking stupid shit now that they have where you Abyssal... It's just... Okay, look, that's neither here nor there. We're just going by the trailer. What they could have done doesn't matter. We have to go with what they did. So what they did, on top of the unnecessary button fluff of Abyssal Drain and Salted Earth, now they've actually added something. So hopefully, when you use Salted Earth, that additional ability will just take the place of Salted Earth. They should have merged the abilities, is my point. But as far as the other moves, TBN is, well, visually is still TBN, and then this is a new TBN, which I assume can only work on a party. So maybe they changed TBN to only work on yourself, and maybe the TBN you put on other players is different. We don't know, but for some reason they needed to put this ability on this player. So whatever this ability is, it's safe to assume you can't put it on yourself, because if you put it on yourself, then you wouldn't have needed this person, I guess. So this is just, you have 2 different TBNs. Maybe it takes the place of Dark Mind, which will be better, because Dark Mind really sucks. But anyway, so this is the new ability. So basically, Dark Knights have 2 new abilities so far. They have this different TBN, so we'll just call it TBN 2. And they have the Salted Earth proc, which is probably just more fluff. From that, they have, let's see. Okay, this is Living Shadow. That sucks, that's still in the fucking game. This, finally, after the entire opener, he finally puts on Dark Side. This is just a simple Edge of Shadow, just Edge. Living Shadow, Flood, or Edge of Shadow. Okay, now this ability is cool. I don't know what that is, this looks like a Dark Passenger, but it looks fucking badass. This is a Dark Passenger-like ability. I don't know if you have to proc it. We don't know. However, for those of you that did not play back in Stormblood or Heaven's Ward, there was an ability called Dark Passenger, and it was a really cool ability. It was the highest mana per potency ability that you had outside of Dark Arts Carbon Spit. So we're just gonna call this Dark Passenger, okay? Because this looks almost exactly like Dark Passenger. So this ability has already been in the game before. They just brought it back. Edge of Shadow into Dark Passenger. This Unleash, Stalwart Soul. That's, I guess, Edge. Yeah, that's Edge into Dark Passenger, into Delirium. All right, it looked like a Blood Spiller, I think. I'm pretty sure that's a Blood Spiller. Wait, he didn't even do Blood Spiller. That's a Quietus into Carven Spit. This Shadow is so annoying. Okay, that's Flood into... Wait, does the Shadow do a Blood Spiller? The Shadow does a Blood Spiller, so... Okay, so there's Blood Spiller. The new abilities are Dark Passenger 2, TBN 2, Salted Earth proc. So those are the new abilities. Now, the proc, they didn't mention a proc after Flood, so I'm going to assume that there's no proc after Flood or Edge. Yeah, so Dark Knight looks almost the exact same. It is very similar to Warrior. This expansion, they played super fucking safe, which is fine, but like I said, the creativity on the new abilities is pretty low. The important things we need to focus on are Delirium is 60 seconds, which is good. We're going to assume you get 3 charges. It's going to mirror in a release. Another thing we need to ask ourselves is, does TBN still require mana? Is it still tied to your damage? If yes, bad. If no, good. What is the TBN 2? Does it replace Dark Mind? We're going to assume that it does. There's that, and then the proc from Salted Earth is whatever. So overall, the Dark Knight changes. The creativity is low, but it's safe. So let's watch it one more time. You know, all the potencies. We don't know about any of that shit. We're just going on, you know, Shadowbringer's knowledge with a teaser of Endwalker. You know, so Grit into Abyssal Drain, into Plunge, into Blood Weapon, into Salted Earth, which we imagine gets a proc. Then he does a Soul Eater combo. Blood Weapon still gives you Blood Gauge. Then this is the proc ability. Well, I believe is the proc ability. Then that's TBN. Then that's TBN 2. Into Living Shadow. Into Edge, into Dark Passenger. Unleash into Stalwart Soul. And then looks like another Edge. Into Dark Passenger. Delirium. The clone does Blood Spiller while the Dark Knight does Quietus. And Carbon Spit. Somewhere in there there's a Flood. Yeah. Alright.